Hi, Gemini. I hope you're doing well. I want to go ahead and get into your reading for the last portion of February 2019. I do want to mention to you that I have a new addition to my channel. It's there's a, oh my God, my words. I've been really sick lately. It's annoying as hell, so pardon me if I hack along up. But I have a donation button, and I'm also going to provide the link for that donation link in the description box below, just because I've had a lot of people asking me, can they donate to my channel? And I'm really honored and appreciative of that. And so my boyfriend figured out how to do that, and we did that. So it is in the description box below. Anyways, I've already shuffled your cards. I want to get into your reading now. I'm feeling a Celtic cross. I've been doing the other readings differently, but for some reason for you, I'm feeling a Celtic cross. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. Show me energy present for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. These are all shuffled already. I'm going to do a little bit more. Show me energies ready for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, February, last portion of February 2019. Oh my God. All right, Gemini. 3 more. So, Gemini, you have the Two of Cups. Very cool. I like that energy. All right. So that's basically the current energy at hand, okay? What we're dealing with, Two of Cups, love relationship, connection between you and somebody else. A bond that is undeniable, energy that is, yeah, you can't break that energy, you know, even if you're far apart. It's like you're there with each other. I'm sorry my voice is going in and out. It's been doing it all day long. I'm going to try and figure that out. So the obstacle, the Nine of Pentacles. So the potential of wanting to leave, somebody walking away on their own, doing on their own, being on their own. What's beneath you? You have the Seven of Wands here, okay? That is anxiety, it's frustration, it's sometimes the need to fight, fighting, getting ready to fight. If you are in a love relationship where somebody is, you've been at odds with somebody and you're constantly back and forth, leaving almost feels like that's what's on the mind right now. In the past, recent past, we have the Wheel of Fortune here. So the Wheel of Fortune talks about cycles, continuing cycles. It talks about patience. It can talk about good luck and fortune, sure, but it's almost as if like the Wheel of Fortune comes about like when we're still perpetuating the same cycle. I honestly prefer to see the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, okay? Because in that aspect of it, it's as if we've learned lessons, you know, and when we're in relationships, the point of them is for us to learn lessons, even if it's a painful relationship, you know? Not every relationship's going to be lovely. Show me current energy, the Hanged Man. Or the Hanged Woman. It's Pisces energy. It's taking time for oneself. It's going within. It's choosing to remain silent. It's causing a barrier to happen. It's really reflecting on what actually is working for you. Really reflecting on what feels right on an emotional level in regard to this situation. This seems very straightforward in regard to two people being at odds with each other with a fair amount of fighting happening or anxiety to communicate. Future, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles, the first words out of my mouth here that want to come out of my mouth is slow resolve. It's as if we're looking at a situation from the past, you know, looking at how we've experienced our relationship with this person, you know, and it's like, do I stay? Do I go? What have I learned here? What have they shown me? You know, and if you're not being introspective in regard to what have they shown me? What have I learned? You know, it's not victim mentality. It's actually being present in a relationship where you look at what you've incorporated and you look at what works and what doesn't work and what you've contributed. And that's healthy. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're taking a victim stance, you know, it really does take two to tango. And some people get treated like shit, and that's a reality. And yeah, that can be more so things being done wrong to you, but I feel here it's more of a necessity to look at the situation for what it is and what's transpired between the two of you. The Knight of Pentacles is a very slow moving action, very slow moving situation in person. The Knight of Pentacles also doesn't really get involved or engage in things that are not going to bear fruit in the long run, okay? So not somebody that fucks around, and if you're going to do this, you're going to do it right. That's the kind of situation that we're kind of dealing with here. So your energy, your current energy, we have the Two of Swords here. Now, the Two of Swords, it can talk about a lot of things. It can talk about basically a stagnation. It can talk about two people having a stalemate. That seems kind of evident here. People wanting to wall up and hide from each other and like just, you know, hey, I need my space. And that's totally legit. There's nothing wrong with that. But here I'm feeling that it's important to recognize where how you or the person or both of you, how the truth is being bent here, okay? You know, it's being very, very conscious of how the truth may be being bent in this situation. And it's important that you recognize that, you know. I think I just talked about being accountable for how you show up in your relationships. This is also accountable for the communication and the actions that follow here, okay? Yeah, don't bend the truth to manipulate a situation to your favor. Be honest, be genuine. When you don't do those things and you do manipulate and you make it that you're the victim and they're the brute, or however it works, and you don't see your side in something, that perpetuates negative cycles, that continues negative cycles. You want the positivity of this energy for you. You have right now two major arcana cards. You have the Hangman and the Hangwoman, and you have the Wheel of Fortune. The necessity to go within and really consider what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're experiencing here, and how it plays out for your future on an emotional level, on an emotionally stable level. Does this make you happy? That's of priority right now. Here, what have I learned in this situation? How can I change the situation for the better? What works for me, especially in tandem with each other? What works for me, you know, and my partner if I choose to remain with them, but what works for me? That's what I'm feeling. And I keep getting this feeling where it's like a manipulation, like somebody is manipulating the words here, you know, to fit or suit their agenda. Be careful about that, okay? Be mindful of it if you're not doing it. And also I want to say too, just because this is coming out this way in this reading does not mean that is for everybody. You need to be very, very conscious of the things that you're experiencing in your relationships. This feels a very certain way for me as the reader. Now I'm reading for thousands of people though, and it's not going to be the same for every single person. So you really need to be conscious of how you're going to contribute this to your situation. If it doesn't fit, don't apply it. Don't make it fit, because it's likely not for you if it doesn't resonate. If it totally resonates, then it's probably for you. Yeah, be conscious of the communication that you're having with somebody, or they're having with you, and be mindful of what they're saying, how they're saying it. What's coming toward you? You have the 8 of Pentacles. So the 8 of Pentacles talks highly about work. It talks about putting energy and effort into a situation. It talks about perfecting your craft. You know, in regard, I want to say this right now, in regard to this 9 of Pentacles, we have a progression here, but we have a progression, but we also have a backtrack in the way that the cards go. We've got the 9 to the 8. So essentially what I'm feeling though here is if you do choose to go on your own, it's almost emphasizing that you pay attention more to the things that are going to nurture you on a personal level. You know, especially if you're releasing a situation that you've been kind of entrapped in for a while with somebody who you've been fighting with and been on edge with. It's almost, well, it feels very much to me that it's talking about really paying attention to the things that nurture you on a human level, on a soul level, on a core level, and paying attention to what's best for you and you alone, if that is the case. So let's keep going. We're going to clarify things, but let's keep going. What hopes, fears, worries, concerns? We have the 4 of Pentacles. So the 4 of Pentacles is an energy of stagnation. It's blocking things off. It's holding off. It's not communicating. It's not making any type of movements. It's choosing to stagnate, you know, not allowing anything in, not allowing anything out, you know. If you're afraid to make any moves here, I think it's, again, very important to evaluate what you've already learned from this situation. A lot of people stay in relationships because they can be comfortable or because there's some sort of familiarity regarding love with a person. You know, it doesn't mean you have to stay with them forever. Yes, I know people love each other, and some people think, oh, well, we love each other, we can make it work even if it's dog shit. But sometimes you have to let things go, okay? The outcome card, we have Justice. So Libran energy, but Justice speaks of righting wrongs. It talks about cutting things out. It can talk about finding balance. Here it feels more so finding balance, whether that be on your own or whether that be with this person. It remains to be determined, but that's also going to be specific to your experience and your situation. I can't tell you exactly what it is because, again, reading for thousands of people, general reading, not a personal private reading. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Princess of Wands. So forward movement, desire to move forward, maybe not knowing exactly the direction that you're going in, but having the drive to get going. So that could either be you want to remain in this relationship and balance it out, or you want to leave. So let's go ahead and clarify. Yeah. Show me the 2 of Cups for Gemini. So for the 2 of Cups, you have the Fool here, Gemini. The Fool talks about brand new beginnings. It talks about recognizing situations from the past and what you've learned from them and bringing yourself into a new aspect of it. When we do that and we actually choose to release a lot of the baggage that we've held on to, a lot of the pain and issues that we've held on to with the person, it's essentially clearing that energy. That is how we're able to take a new beginning and make it happen. You know, I'm feeling something about don't be premature though. So I'm going to look more into that, but let's see. And I do want to mention though too, at the bottom of the deck for the Fool, we have the Sun. The Sun talks about aha moments. It talks about clarity. It talks about new beginnings. It talks about things taking shape and moving forward into a new capacity, you know, and that's positive, but we still here are uncertain if it's going towards a togetherness or going towards an aloneness. And that's, again, for you to determine, because I feel it could go either way. It's almost as if there are like 2 groups here. Show me the 9 of Pentacles here for Gemini, please. So the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Five of Swords here popping up, Gemini. So in regard to the Five of Swords, the Five of Swords is mental manipulation. It's fighting with no real cause to fight. It's somebody who's kind of a jackass and a jerk and who's immature in a lot of emotional ways, and they kind of prey upon the mental aspect. They prey upon the feelings. They are somebody who is willing to be a fuck, and like not a sex buddy, sure, maybe, but like a fucker. They're kind of a fucker, and it's not good. So if this is what you're dealing with, I can definitely see like really looking into this situation and recognizing it for what it offers and does not offer, and making your decision upon that, you know. When I think a lot of the time too in tarot readings on YouTube especially, people see the Fool and they think, oh my God, we're going to get back together. It's a brand new beginning together. Well, not always. Sometimes the Fool can talk about you doing something on your own. You going on your own and making good on that, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that can be very scary for people, especially when they have attachment issues. Show me the Seven of Wands for Gemini, please. So you have the King of Pentacles here. So we have the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. So you have Earth sign energy, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo here. The King of Pentacles is somebody who is essentially financially stable. They are wealthy. They are money makers. They're businessmen. They're business people. They are family oriented in many ways. They can work themselves to the bone for their family sometimes. But here it's almost as if we may have somebody who like doesn't, in a certain way, hasn't been wise with their money. Also, I feel like that what I'm picking up right now is like the energy, somebody who's more frivolous. Here too, with this Five of Swords, this can also be somebody who is neglectful in maintaining stability within the home. It doesn't necessarily mean they're out fucking everybody. It can mean they're like spending money, blowing money, and money that was set aside for something, okay? They don't tell you how they spend their finances or your finances. They keep things under wraps. And so I do want to mention that typically the King of Pentacles is a positive fellow, but right now I'm picking up a weird energy. So I just want to say that to you, okay? Show me Wheel of Fortune for Gemini. The Two of Wands here, Gemini, for the Wheel of Fortune. So in this situation, again, it's what I'm feeling is a self-awareness. How about that? Let's say that. A self-awareness of what you've experienced here. How has it taught you? How has it shaped you now than where you started from with it? And are you wanting to change it? Does it feel like you want to remain in it or change it? Okay? Do you want to walk away from it? Okay? Because now we have the option to walk away from it. This talks about learning from our lessons. It talks about applying them positively and making good on what you've learned. Now, it also can talk about if you do choose to walk away, you're also supported positively by the universe. That's something that's very important. At the bottom of the deck, I do want to mention here, though, with that Two of Wands for the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Four of Cups here. The Four of Cups talks about not taking an offer, not making an offer. It talks about people who are pretty much blocking another person out or at a standstill in regard to moving forward with somebody. It's not happening. Show me the Hanged Woman. You got two cards flying out. So first of all, you have the Wheel of Fortune here. So you have it here highlighted twice, and now you have the Page of Cups. So in regard to the Hangman, you know, again, what nurtures you, what feels good to you, what is going to bring you positivity and happiness in your life? Is it cycling with this person again? Does that make you feel happy? Does that make you feel abundant? Does it make you feel whole? Does it make you feel like you can be communicated with, and can you trust this person? You know, if you can, great. If you cannot, well, this is kind of supporting an energy of The Page of Cups talks about somebody who is wanting to communicate their feelings. They sometimes want to apologize for a certain situation. They want to emote with you. Sometimes it can be a little bit more on the childish side. Yeah, it can also talk about getting more so in tune with your emotions, getting in tune with what makes you feel good again, and digging deep, you know. Again, here too, there's emphasis here in regard to artistry. So, yeah, artistry. Here we have two energies that support creation, okay? If any of you are artists and like this is the passion that you want to go after, it's almost as if this is like a new awareness, a new opening, something opening up for you to experience that. It's like you drop one and you fortify the other, you know, and you really pay attention to it. For those of you that makes sense about or sense to you, artistry, artwork, creation of artwork, galleries, things of that nature are coming very, very strongly here. And there's a lot of positivity that's like collected for that. Show me the Knight of Pentacles, please. Okay. So you have the World here. So, and it's in reverse. The World in reverse talks about, it talks about unfinished business. It talks about situations that have not been completed. It talks about closure that has not been gained. You, sometimes when you're in situations, you can create your own closure if you haven't received it from somebody. But, you know, again, do we want another ride on the merry-go-round? That's what it feels like, Gemini. Do we want another ride on the merry-go-round? We have the World here in reverse with the Wheel of Fortune. You have a card of revisiting the past, not allowing cycles to die. And here you have two cards upright talking about cycles not dying, okay? It's perpetuating things that are essentially tumultuous for you. And it's really important that you value what it is. And I also want to say here right now too, if you're not somebody who is getting out of a situation, this may literally just mean highlighting you utilizing your creativity and stepping into that aspect of yourself far more than you ever have. So drawing, painting, photography, sculpting, whatever, making sculptures out of chewed gum. It doesn't matter as long as it feeds your soul and you feel good about it. That's what I'm picking up. Show me the Two of Swords here. So the Star with the Two of Swords. So, you know, this is, again, talking about really choosing a direction. I feel also here, too, very heavily healing from communications that may have not been something that you could trust. You know, the Star talks about trusting things. With this Two of Swords, I know it's talking about not making a decision clearly. Here, I feel it's more so about bending the truth, manipulating conversations to get what one wants, and that feels even more so bolstered by that energy, the Five of Swords. You know, if you've dealt with somebody that has kind of been verbally abusive, they neglect the truth, they leave out the truth, you know, be careful about that. Show me the Eight of Pentacles for Gemini. So you have the Knight of Wands, Gemini, okay? So the Knight of Wands, aside from being a card of the player, it is also a card of somebody who is excited about their life. They're excited about the direction that they're going in. They may not know exactly what they're going to be doing, but they're ready to do it. They're very happy about it. They're talking a mile a minute about it because they're so excited that they want to just like dig in, you know, and that's wonderful. Again, I'm just like, this just seems to be a very, very prevalent, like super, super highlighted thing right here that I'm experiencing. Again, with the artwork situation, I want to talk about, like, go for it. Do it. Even if you're going to remain in this situation that seems like it's kind of perpetuating issues, which I don't suggest, but that may be the way to help yourself out of this. It may be the catalyst for you actually nurturing yourself. I do want to mention also here too, the Empress is here at the bottom of the deck. If anybody's going to nurture herself, it's the Empress, okay? The Empress is somebody who takes care of themselves. They think about what they put into their body, what comes out of their mouth, what types of thoughts that they have in their brain. You know, they tend to these strange, like, minute details of their lives, but they do it consciously because they know that it actually carries an effect for them. You know, and this person, the Empress, is somebody who is, she stands on her own. She's very powerful. People come to the Empress. The Empress doesn't go to people, you know. But also in regard to this artistry, again, I want to mention that doing so, it almost causes positivity in your life. It causes, I'm feeling like a raised energy, like the consciousness is raising, the vibration of you is raising because you have an outlet. Also, people, there's people here too, even if you're not an artist, something about art is incredibly just like bam in this reading for me. I'm just feeling like you need to draw, paint, photograph, whatever you do, cook, but honing in that craft, learning about it. If you don't know about something and you've been curious about it, maybe check it out, you know. But it seems that that's something that's going to be healing. It's an avenue for healing yourself, and it actually causes stability to happen within your life. Show me the Four of Pentacles for Gemini, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So the Four of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords. Now, she popped out like kind of like this. I'm going to read it both ways. In regard to the Four of Pentacles, that holding stuck, stagnant energy, here we have the Queen of Swords. So this could be you or this other person. I feel like it's you. Well, Gemini, this is your energy, the Queen of Swords. I mean, this is air energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. But here it's like we are essentially having to cut things out that no longer make sense for us. You know, if somebody does not communicate truly with you, Gemini, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to maintain that situation? Are you going to wait for them to change? Are you going to allow your life to be put on hold? This is putting things on hold here. And the positioning for this is fears, concerns, worries. Are you going to allow your life to be put on hold so somebody can grow up? And who's to say they actually grow up? You know, it feels here that you've dealt enough with this person in the past that you actually can make it's a well-rounded understanding, especially with the World in reverse, with the Wheel of Fortune here twice. This is all about cycles that are essentially, if you're going to remain in this, you're just perpetuating toxicity. That's what it's talking about. Underneath, on the bottom of the deck for the Queen of Swords, you have the Chariot. So moving forward in your life in a positive way, in a direction that actually makes sense for you. But it happens when you balance energies out. It happens when you balance yourself out. It happens when you essentially extract people that are toxic from your life, or you extract yourself from toxic situations and you give yourself the benefit of the experience by actually applying the lessons that you've learned in it, you know. You also, for the final card, have the Justice card. So again, a level of balance here. Let's go ahead and clarify Justice for Gemini, please. Clarify. Okay, that flew out quick. So you have the Three of Wands, Gemini. So, you know, in regard to justice, this is essentially energy where, you know, wrongs are being righted. Right is wronged? No. Things that were fucked up are being taken care of. You know, essentially it is balancing energies out. It's the positivity of the universe saying, hey, look, you've done a lot of work on really changing a situation for yourself, for your benefit. Let me help you, you know. But in regard to the Three of Wands, this is talking about receiving what you want. It's talking about looking out into the distance and knowing the hard work that you've put towards something. You're reaping the benefits of it now, okay? And at the bottom of the deck, you have the Four of Cups here with the Empress beneath that. So, in regard to the Four of Cups, I feel like this came up a little bit earlier, but the Four of Cups, again, is not moving forward with somebody. It's not extending an offer. It's not going forth, you know, it's just no. And the Empress, again, we have this nurturance energy. Here, I'm feeling self-nurturance, self-care, taking care of the self. What goes in your mind, what goes in your mouth, what goes on your body, take care of it. Take care of it. Mental health, check. All right. All right, Gemini, I hope that this was helpful for you. My name is Isel. I'm on YouTube as the Altruistic Mystic. And if you found this to be helpful, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you choose to donate, that's much appreciated. And if you don't, that's no problem. All right. So I hope everything's well, and I will see you in March. All right. Bye, Gemini. Take care.